Welcome to our program on Kardec Radio.
Hello, everybody. 9:01. We are 1 minute late. So I apologize for that. So, Fayote, my Irish friends, good evening, my dear friends from English-speaking countries. Good to have you here today. And today we will talk about how to have faith and believe in life. And it's a pleasure to share this moment with my friends from United Kingdom, Elsa Rossi, Lithuania, Nadja, Gircis, and France, Charles Kempf. So thank you, guys. Okay, Nadja?
Labas vakaras visiems. Tikiuosi, kad šiandien bus labai įdomi tema. Ir mes kalbėsime dar kartą apie dvasingumą, nušviesime gyvenimus klausimus. Ir tikiuosi, kad jums patiks ir bus naudinga. Thank you very much for your presence today, and the theme Stevan has already spoken about, so I hope you enjoy it. Thank you.
Bom dia, boa tarde, boa noite, queridos amigos do mundo todo. Novamente estamos aqui, agradecendo a Deus a oportunidade. Good evening, everyone. It is really a great pleasure to be here again, to talk with these beautiful and good friends here in this room, and with you all that will be with us this evening. Thank you.
Bonjour, bonsoir, heureux d'être ici de nouveau avec vous pour vous accompagner dans ces réflexions, notamment aujourd'hui sur cette question de foi. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Happy to be here again with you in order to share some thoughts about this question of faith.
Okay, great. So we have a busy schedule today with a lot of exciting discussions. And in order to start, I will play a short video, less than 2 minutes, but it's beautiful video. Okay, so let me prepare here. Oops.
Faith in you. Fanatism is a distortion of faith and reveals a distortion in the act of thinking. Systematic disbelief reveals emotional conflict and unstable reasoning. People believe both because of evolution and as a psychological inheritance. Not every faith is necessarily rational. There are many who believe automatically and naturally. We discern two kinds of faith, rational and natural. Natural faith is innate. Rational faith emerges from reasoning and thought. Faith, being a virtue that must be worked out individually, uplifts, opens up to new views of life situations, prompts inner peace, and strengthens the soul to face adversities. When faith comes out of reasoning, it becomes the light that illuminates the most confusing and complex situations. However, whichever faith you are plunged to, let it be vitalized by love, so that it may become a positive energy to be used for others. Faith is an active part of the spiritual nature of man, and must be kindled by prayer and meditation. Do not submit your faith to tests. If it is real, it will be there when you need it. Learn to trust your values. Man believes by instincts, by simulation, or through reason. Reset your faith in God and carry on the good work, for you have been created for a happy and healthy life. Faith in you.
Wonderful.
Yeah, it's a beautiful video. No, it's from the book Child of God. It's a wonderful book. I have this book. It's so old here. But anyway, so I would like to say hello to all friends who are here today with us. Ruben de los Santos, Troyella, El Katz. So thank you guys for being here with us today. So as we said, and today we're talking about to have faith and the belief in life. In the Gospel according to Spiritism, chapter 19, we find that Kardec says, sincere faith is gripping and contagious. So, it's gripping and contagious. So, faith is not something you can acquire everywhere. It's not something you can buy on a shop to the shelves. Faith is not something someone can come to you and teach you how to have faith. Faith, it's a natural thing that comes up with you as long as you start to believe in yourself, as long as you start to really trust in you, trust in your judgments. Doesn't matter what is the consequences, but you are up to face that challenge, and you will overcome it. And also, faith, when you act with faith, there are consequences, and you need to be up to deal with this consequence. Either this consequences is good or bad, but it's a feeling who born inside you. And based on that, I want to listen to science. Since I said here, Nadja, faith, it's up to us to have it. And my question to you, can we see from the science eyes if it's possible to change our mindset? What's your thoughts about faith from the science perspective?
Yeah, many scientists have already proven that changing our habits, improving our lifestyle, so with lifestyle changes, so such as eating healthier, doing sports, meditating, doing yoga, prayer, also that connects us to ourselves, it will improve all of this together a little bit, but it will all improve our daily life, our relationships. It will reduce then the blood pressure. The immune system will work better because we'll be sleeping better. We will look happier, and everybody around us will feel better, happier. And we connect then. We have this connection with the spiritual beings, with God, with Mary, whoever that's strong spiritual connection that we have, it will gives you the strength to keep going, keep working, because we know that we are responsible for our happiness and for our sufferings as well. Life is difficult. It will challenge us every day to the maximum. Sometimes we think that we cannot go on. We have to take responsibilities one after another. When you think that, okay, now finally I can rest, and something happens, for example, someone dies, or you lose your job, or the pandemic starts, for example, and then everything changes. And how to get strength and power from within when you can even lift up from your own bed, for example, because life is, for some people can be so difficult, so challenging, that you have no strength. And when you meditate, when you pray, and when you concentrate on yourself, then you make this connection with your guardian angel, with the spiritual beings, with the loved ones that have already gone. to the spiritual plane, and they give you that energy back to make you go further, keep working, keep going. And Dr. Elizabeth Kubler-Ross she died in 2004, a Swiss American psychiatrist who was the pioneer of near-death experiences studies. She has many quotes on the internet, and I like two of them for tonight because she says, we all have to face difficult moments in our lives. The harder they are, the more we grow and learn. And the other one is, there are no mistakes, no coincidence. All events are blessings given to us to learn from. She has written 69 books, more or less, 69 books I got online, on death and dying, on grief and grieving, on life after death, on the wheel of life, the children with cancer, on children death. So these are all moments of suffering, difficulties that when we study, when we learn, when we try to understand, then we can pass this phase of difficulties. She also developed the theory, the 5 stages of grief, which postulates that those experiencing grief go through a series of 5 emotions. So denial, anger, bargaining, depression, acceptance. Not all together, not in this order. Some people who experience grief, they can have 2 of those emotions, can feel 2 of those emotions. Grief can be caused by situations, relationships, substance abuse sometimes. So a child can grieve a divorce. A teenager might grieve the end of a relationship. A husband may grieve the death of his wife. So when you have the denial, it initially helps you survive the loss. So you deny the news, you are in state of shock. You think that things now are different from what you've known before. But when this starts to fade, the healing process begins. So remember that grief can be by situations. So grief is an intense sorrow, that feeling of deep distress caused by loss, disappointment, misfortune. Then you have anger, where you face the reality. So facing reality is very difficult, it's very challenging. So then you start asking, why me? Why life is not fair? Where is God in this moment of pain? That the pain is so strong that you feel anger, and then you start asking, where is God? Why God has done this to me? And you feel alone, you feel abandoned. In this moment, sometimes we go to that part that, okay, I don't believe in nothing that the church is saying, or that the priest or that the minister is saying, because it doesn't make sense. But when it's also like a cycle, a phase, that then you can go from there to a bargaining moment. Then you start feeling that you have to talk to God and make some deals. God, if you cure my son, I will be a better mother. Or if I won't complain anymore. But then the guilt starts when things don't happen as the person wants or wished. And they start the what if. What if I had come earlier? What if I had done the exams, the medical exams before earlier? What if I had stayed home, not left? And this guilt is also this suffering that is like a snowball, and it can happen in all ages. So from childhood to and carry this for life. The problem is also when it gets to the depression, because depression it's that strong feeling because of relationships, job insecurity, job loss, and so that feeling of emptiness. So what's the point? Why do I have to go on? And then we always have to remember that when we see someone in depression, or when we start feeling so sad that we cannot have strength, and even praying, then we can get the strength to keep going. Then we need also to, all the time, we need to ask for help, for the help of specialists, psychiatrists, psychologists, call the helplines, go to a spiritual center. Sometimes when you go to a group, then you can have the power of the energy of the group to help you to go through this phase. And the acceptance then is the final phase usually. So you accept that things are the way they are, and yes, my husband has died, so now I have to keep going. I'll be okay. So the person start a time for readjustment, or adjustment, or readjustment, re-enter in reality, engage with friends again, and then the faith kicks in this moment when you have the faith in yourself to say, okay, I've been going through all of this, and I can go on. I've gone through so much, and this is just a phase, and then I can go on. And the faith in God and Jesus and Mary and light and Buddha, in the power, the superior being, because they have the superpowers to give us the energy. We need just to ask our spiritual guides to give us strength, to give love, faith, health. It's not easy, I know, but when we pay attention, when we stop and breathe, and then we realize that we have to have gratitude for whatever we are experiencing this moment, because this is our reincarnation. That's not the first one, it's not going to be the last one. So we incarnate, and we have this opportunity to wake up. We are waking up today and tomorrow, and be grateful for waking up and having another opportunity to change that wheel of suffering, to change this the preconcepts of childhood. That sometimes we have these ideas, the preconcept, the lifestyles that the psychiatrist Alfred Adler has mentioned in his theory, that you have a lifestyle as in your childhood, and then you carry on, and it's hard to change. But once you take your free will, and you understand that this is not the last life, that nothing ends here, that life goes on and continues, and we have the opportunity to make things better now, and to correct everything now in this moment, so we can make everything better, not just for us, but for all around us. And I think that's the blessings that we have to understand from God, from divine force, that we have the opportunity to reincarnate and to make things better, and to change this pattern, this wheel that maybe is the wheel of suffering. Because we will have moments of happiness, we have bad moments, we have moments of happiness again. We are part of nature, we are one in nature, so we are like a cycle, and changing, growing, dying, being born again, like a flower, like the trees, like the birds, and we do the same. So I think the final message is to be grateful that we are here in this incarnation, and love ourselves, be thankful for having this body, the family we have, even if it's a hard family to connect with, but we are together because we ask for it, and because we have to love each other and make things better for everyone around us, not just for us, but also for all around us. Thank you.
Very good, my dear. Thank you very much. And now, let's go to London. Wow. I hope London is warm and rainy like Ireland. Yeah. So, my dear Elsa, I like this passage. Allow me to read. It's from the book existential conflicts from the spirit Joana de Anjos, psychographed by our beloved Divaldo Franco. And she says here, guilt turns into self-forgiveness. Fear becomes a stimulus for continuous progress. And uncertainties become convictions around victory itself, integral health. This is, by my understanding, the first steps we need to have in order to create our faith. Based on this, how to achieve the self-forgiveness and move on?
I love Joana de Angelis. And if I may say to people here that is listening to us, the Leal Publisher, if you go on the internet and see Leal Publisher, Leal Publisher, you can have Joana de Angelis. It's a psychological series of books that help us a lot in our everyday lives to understand all our traumas, our possibilities to remove nasty things from us, help us in a psychological and spiritual way. So, as all of us as individuals, we are human beings in the process of growth, in repair, in the carnal physical trajectory, because we still have imperfections of various types, isn't it? The acceptance of oneself as it is found is a valuable resource for understanding the limits that characterize the others, making tolerance of other people's faults in the face of the conditions now known. Self-love plays a self-therapeutic action because it frees you from the conflicts of self-punishment, self-censorship, and self-compassion. Let's think with Joana de Angelis from the psychological series of books, Self-Love. But how to love yourself? Because some people, they don't know that they can love themselves. I love myself. I try every day to see myself, Elsa, you are getting better. Elsa, you are doing well. And sometimes, Elsa, you did a mistake again. But I do not punish myself. I love myself as God loves us, giving opportunity many times for us. Doesn't matter how many mistakes we do in our lives. We have the opportunity to come again, grow again, as trees, birds, flowers, as Nadja pointed it very well. As yourself proposed by Jesus is an imperative which must not be confused with selfishness or self-centeredness. I love myself, but I'm not selfish. As much as I love others, I love myself. I don't only love others without loving myself. Otherwise, I will neglect with myself. I have to be equal, horizontal, in a good line of goodness. Loving yourself means respect and right to life, the happiness that each individual has and deserves. We know that God is in our conscience, teaching us every day right and wrong. We know, although if you don't go to a higher school to be intellectually growing, we know the law of love inside ourselves. Jesus came to teach forgiveness and love. This forgiveness and love is balancing our life forever towards goodness, towards happiness. We are not happy yet because in the state of our planet that are evolving, we have a lot of people full of pride, full of selfishness that don't see the poor, don't see the one in need, only centered in itself. So it is about a love that preserves peace, the devotion to healthy habits and moral, spiritual, and intellectual cares to yourself, to myself. It is to always make the best choices for yourself, seeing yourself as an immortal spirit, and never fail to respect, obviously, the common good. When I choose to love my family more, dedicating myself entirely to relationships, cultivating peace and tolerance, I am in love with myself. And Joanna de Angelis carry on saying, when I choose to forgive and not take the weight of a heartbreak with me, I am in love with myself. When I choose to learn, seeking intellectual refinement in the areas of knowledge of my interest, I am in love with myself. When I accept myself as I am and see in my imperfections temporary situations, once I make efforts to correct my mistakes, I am in love with myself. So I know how I am inferior still, comparing our planet with Jupiter and other planets, that the life goes on everywhere. It's not our tiny planet, our tiny grain of sand in the universe that has life. Life is everywhere. The Creator is expanding our multi-universe forever, forever, forever. No starting, no commencing, not ending. So we will be evolving, will be one day perhaps in Jupiter, perhaps here in our planet Earth, already in another scale of evolution, regeneration phase. They are examples of attitudes, thoughts, and feelings that elevate our self-esteem. That is the judgment that we make of ourselves and push us forward to our happiness. So that's Joanna de Angelis saying to us. The love to yourself provides a clearer view of who you are, of what you want and do not want for yourself. I know what the best thing for me now. I have my free will. I have my choices. I can, of course, be all night doing something, perhaps in a party or drinking or smoking or drugging, etc. But this will damage my body, damage myself for sure, and take more time to recover and to go to the right pathway again. I have the free will. I can be up and down according to my choices, my free will. I have to choose my companies, my films to view, my videos, my literature, my studies. It's up to me to evolve. God doesn't punish us. God doesn't say to us, you have to do this or that. It's our free will, autonomy of life. This is most important things that we have in our life. We are not in prison, or we are only, of course, in our physical body, but we have a free will to do everything. But, of course, later on, we will reap what we are sowing. So it is true that we establish goals for our existence, educational goal, family, social, artistic, economic, and spiritual, thinking of ourselves not only now, but caring for the future. So love, cause, and effect. Everything that I'm doing today will resonate tomorrow. I have my faith that tomorrow I will be better than today, but I have starting today to be a better person tomorrow. If I have I don't need to do anything because I have faith in God. God will provide to me. No, I am the one that prepare my soil to sow and to grow up and to reap and to have everything according to what I'm doing today. Even my thoughts, I have to be vigilant with my thoughts, vigilant with my mood, bad and good mood, because sometimes we are up and down all day long, only claiming things and shouting. So we have to see good things everywhere. Once you see good things there, Elsa, you did it wrong again, but God doesn't punish you. Okay, do good now and go ahead. Okay, we are all important. unique creatures in the universe who see happiness through learning to love, to yourself, to the others, and to God. So love yourself while is today. We have to do things today. Don't live for tomorrow, things that you can do today. You can choose a nice course, you choose a nice online studies people choose to do, and after that they are happy to join us, to stay with us. That is, we are gathering. We are people that should be together, growing together, exchange ideas, help each other. See if someone is sad, is quiet. You have to ask, do you need something? Can I do something for you? That is my, I have more things to do, but I think is fine now. And one important thing that I may have, perhaps I can say, if you can do yourself, as Joana de Angelis teach us, do therapeutic visualizations. You can sit down, if you are stressing during the day, don't punish yourself, sit down, calm down under a tree or walking, and visualize a flower. You can feel the smell of the flower. You can see the color of a flower. You can give this flower to your beloved ones, to yourself, to your enemy. So be with the connection to yourself, to your higher self. And that's to be important for us in this world now that we are so stressful moments. But we can be the ones, a drop of peace to the others as well. Thank you.
I want to say thank you. Thank you very much for all these great explanations and view. So, let me go now to France. My dear friend Charles, Elsa said something brilliant. We are not in prison, like she said, we are not in prison, we have autonomy. Based on this, how can we develop our talents?
Good question, Stevan. Thank you also to you, to Nadja, and to Elsa for these wonderful explanations. Actually, Stevan, to develop our autonomy, it requires us developing our talents through study, principally. Why? In order to reach maturity, understanding, discernment, which are needed to have the autonomy. Let's take an example. You take a child. Is a child autonomous? It is not. The father needs to, in crossing the road, whatever, in unsafe places, the child needs to have someone, the parents generally, or the teachers or whoever, to guide them, because they are not yet autonomous, because they did not yet develop all what is needed to be autonomous. On the other hand, the child, they are already autonomous when they are confined, for instance, in a kindergarten, with a door and with a lock that they cannot open and so on. There, the child can be autonomous in a, how to say, secure space. We, as human, we are somehow big childs, aren't we? And before reaching autonomy, we need exactly to develop these talents. So not all of adults are today autonomous in terms of beliefs, in terms of thinkings, and so on. So these persons, it's a case of my mother, for instance. She passed away already, but she was always telling, I'm born Catholic, I will die Catholic. And because she did not want, or she did not have the capacity, or for whatever reason, she did not want to go along the way of autonomy. So she needed someone She needed heteronomy, which is the opposite. She needed a wisely trusted people to tell her what to do and what to not to do, what to believe and what not to believe. And a lot of human beings are still like this. They either are not capable yet, or they do not want to develop their beliefs and their faith autonomously. So they need this heteronomical approach. Let's now think a little bit of the situation of today. Just look around you. Do you think you can find easily such wisely trusted people? And how to detect if the people are wisely trusted or not? Today we have so many manipulations. You see conspiracy theories. You have dictators. You have people looking to dominate the masses, even in the religious circles, using exactly this autonomy in order to dominate the masses. You have fanatism. You have extremism. You have aggressive business practices, isn't it? People cheating you in order to sell you something you don't need. You have corruption, you have abuses, you have so many things around you nowadays. So it's not so easy to find wisely trusted people for telling us what to do and not to do. So the only way is to develop our talents, our autonomy. And this goes exactly together with this rational or reasoned faith. Okay. Why? Because the faith, it's good to have faith. Some people, they have, as it's shown in the video, natural faith. Natural faith, I would love to have natural faith, but unfortunately, it didn't work with me. I wanted to have some explanation in order to understand what I believe in. And we believe something much stronger once we have understood it, isn't it? Do you believe, for instance, that Earth and Moon are attracting themselves in the law of attraction? Nobody ever explained what is attraction. Where is the elastic or the rope or even the particle for the gravity? In the physics science today, nobody could explain why Earth and Moon are attracting themselves. Nevertheless, the people believe in it because we can see the effects and so on. So we have understood it, so we believe in it. So the reasoned phase or the rational phase is exactly like this. You understood it, so you how to say, you understood the natural law of some of the subject, so you believe in it, and even so you have the free will. But once you understood it, you believe much stronger than when you believe to something that you don't understand, in particular when you have facing difficult situations. So Allan Kardec really introduced this rational study and investigation of the spiritual subjects, of the spiritual world. And he put on the cover page of the Gospel According to Spiritism, unshakable faith is only that which can meet reason face to face in every human epoch. Okay, so clearly this is the unshakable phase, the one which is not fragile, the one which is not disappearing suddenly when you have some unexpected event, or then when you really see that what you trusted it, what you had faith in, is not the truth, is something which is untrue. And this is what happens with the blind faith from time to time. So Kardec is stating as well, faith may be either blind or rationalized. Okay, blind faith examines nothing and accepts without verification both truth and falsehood. It accepts because it has been said heteronomously again, you have to believe in this, so you just believe in it, and you don't look whether it's true or not. Again, whether it's in harmony with the law of nature or not. No. And at each step, it clashes with evidence of reason. No. Taken to the extreme, this blind faith produced fanaticism, as it has also already been explained in the video and also by Nadja. So while sitting upon error, sooner or later, the faith is collapsing. The only faith that is based on truth guarantees the futures, because it has nothing to fear from the progress of enlightenment, seeing that what is true in obscurity is also true in daylight. So you see, the Kardec's teaching are, for this reasoned faith, strongly encouraging everyone to develop its autonomy. Kardec is continuing saying, it is commonly said that faith cannot be prescribed, from which many people declare it is not their fault if they have no faith. You see, you give a kind of a dummy excuse which has no grounding. So all this is taken away through this reasoned faith. Beyond doubt, faith cannot be prescribed, and what is even more certain, it cannot be imposed. No, it cannot be prescribed, but only acquired through the study, as I told at the beginning. And there is no one who is prevented from possessing it, even amongst those who are most refractory. Talking about now these which are refractory, we have this well-known change resistance, isn't it? And Kardec is also talking about that, writing again in the Gospel according to the Spiritism. You can be sure that those who say, there is nothing I should like more than to believe, but I cannot, only says with their lips and not with their hearts, seeing that while they are saying it, they close their ears. Okay. However, the proof is all around them, so why do they refuse to see? On the part of some, it is indifference. On some others, the fear of being forced to change their habit. Typically, the change resistance, isn't it? Nevertheless, in the majority, there is pride that refuses to recognize the existence of a superior force because they would then have to bow down before it. And this is somehow, these people who are thinking like this, as Kardec they think they are at the summum. So for them, they even lose the how to say, the willing to of evolution, to become better, to grow in direction of this higher, of this God, isn't it? Autonomously, of course. Kardec says also, with regards to Spiritist teachings that he codified, he wrote, Spiritism does not say, believe first and you may understand later if you can. But rather, Spiritism says, understand first and you may believe later on if you want to. So again, even if you understand, you still have your free will to believe in it or not, as he described it previously. In other words, the reasoned phase is what is strengthening our autonomy. It's a kind of a virtuous circle. Autonomy is strengthening our faith, and the reasoned phase is strengthening our autonomy. So now to terminate, to finish, I want to quote, to make some quotes about Léon Denis. And Léon Denis really was a follower of Kardec. He met Kardec when he was very young, with 20 and some years, in Tours, city of Tours in France. And he really understood very, very deeply all the teachings of Kardec, meditated them, and wrote these really wonderful books that he left us. You know that the books translated in English are available in the United States Spiritist Federation, at least most of them, maybe if not completely all, most of them. And Léon Denis is writing like this. Faith is man's trust in his destiny or in his life. We can, as per the theme of today. Faith is the feeling that carries him towards the infinite power. It is the certainty of being on the path that leads to the truth. Blind faith is like a lantern whose red glow cannot pierce the fog. Enlightened faith is a powerful beacon that illuminates with vivid clarity the road ahead. The religious faith that ignores reason and relates to the judgment of others accepts a body of doctrine, true or false, and submits to it without control. This is blind faith. In its impatience, in its excesses, it easily resorts to coercion and leads to fanaticism. So here you can see very, very clearly how Léon Denis was following Kardec in encouraging the autonomy and also showing the inconvenience of the heteronomy, which of course is still needed today, as I told at the beginning. But really, the future of the Earth, the future world, after evolution, after this transition, which is ongoing, is clearly going towards autonomy. That's the future. The elevated worlds, as described by Kardec in the Spirit's book, for instance, are purely, fundamentally autonomous. Léon Denis continues then, faith must be based on the solid substance of free examination and freedom of thought, as Elsa also very clearly stressed. Instead of dogmas and mysteries, it must recognize only principles arising from direct observation, from the study of natural laws. Such is the character of the Spiritist faith. The philosophy of the Spirits offers us a belief that to be rational is even more robust. Knowledge of the invisible world, trust in a higher law of justice and progress, all of this imprints on faith a double character of calm and security and serenity. So again, the reasoned faith, Léon Denis is also commenting this, is the one who is capable of lifting the mountains, as it is written in the Gospel. So that's what I wanted to say today about this, with the help of my dear friend Kardec and my dear friend Léon Denis, that really reasoned faith is strengthening our autonomy, and autonomy is strengthening our reasoned faith. And through this process, we really enter in a virtuous cycle that will make us do a quantum jump in our evolutions. It enables us clearly to understand the meaning of the life, where we come from, where we are, and where we are going to believe in it, to see the beauty of the life, of this opportunity we have to learn, to become better persons, and to live it, this life, in fullness, or even with mindfulness, as to use a word which is very well quoted right now. So this is what I wanted to say about the subject today, and hope having answered your question.
Yes, a lot.
Can
No,
I
thank
just
you very much.
interrupt a little bit, say that all the books, Kardec books, they are online and for free. So you find it online and you can read them all and get all this information and get this reason, faith, and better understanding of it. In English, in French, in Portuguese, and soon in Lithuanian. So I think you have to know that there are books online and you can get them. Okay, that's just some information, just a reminder.
Thank you, Nadja.
Yeah, I just put a website from the Irish Spiritist Federation, so you can go there and download all the available 6 books from Kardec. You can download it from there. So just go there, you'll see Kardec Workbook. So click there and you have 6 books free of charge. Just download it, and I hope you
And
read.
you can participate in the groups as well. So we have the study groups, no, of each book, in English and Portuguese, and you can always participate and learn deeper with a group of friends, because then we make friends everywhere, all over the world, during the studies groups, and they are very, very rich information.
Yeah. In the same website, the www.isf.ie, you have this and the study group. If you go to the study group, you'll know there is a study group every Wednesday, 8 p.m. London time. You just need to click in the link and you will receive the link for the study group. So the studies are in English. So no Portuguese for these studies, it's just in English. Okay. So let's write it here, because we still have
Stevan,
8 minutes. Yeah.
Would you type bas.org.uk? There's more choice for people who studies in English during the week.
Sure. Yes. Buzz.org.
www.bas.org.uk. Oh,
It's done. Yeah. So in buzz.org.uk, you also have the same level of studies, the same, with more information, because Buzz, it's more attent to all these. There are a lot of groups over there. So also you can find groups in English and Portuguese. And if you go to Movement Francophonique in France, you have the studies in French. So see, a bunch of languages here. So I'm proud to see we are disseminating, try to help Kardec here a little bit, tiny. We are doing like 0.10% of he did, but at least we are there. We are trying to do it. So, my dear friends,
Steven,
yes.
we are about to get the first book in Lithuanian, isn't it, Nadja?
Yeah. Tell me more about this book.
Yes, we are in the final stage of publishing it. So the Spiritism in its simplest expression. So it's called in Lithuanian Spiritismo savo paprasčiausia forma. It's like a booklet, so with short information, and hopefully soon we'll be announcing here the publishing of the book. And but the whole book, it will be online as well on the website, on espiritismoslietuvoje.com, and there will be the book there in Lithuanian, and the Spirits book, the Vasu Kniga. The Vasu Kniga is also being translated at the moment. So we are putting online a little bits, but for those who are interested in learning Kardec or reading Kardec in Lithuanian language, then you can be happy to find it on our website.
That's good. This is all to help everyone to find your own being. And Elsa put it clear that the website for spiritism.net for the French user. So thank you very much. And let me go to the announcements here. Let me put it on my screen. And then we have on May 22nd, from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., a virtual event for the 8th British Congress on Medicine and Spirituality.
So if people want to participate, you'll be in Kardec Radio, Facebook, BSMA, Facebook, YouTube. There is loads of places that people can go, Stevan. Easily, everyone can find it. There's so many links to do. That will be a one-day congress. It is our guest speakers. Will be 3 musicians. Will be a break with music, with a soloist. One of them is Anastasia McKenna, Andrea dos Reis, and Publio Lentos from Canada. That's a new that I want to show today for 22nd May.
Great. Thank you, Elsa. And also, Divaldo will give his talk to European countries in May. As usual, he used to come to Europe, and we will have 3 sessions. One session is on 8th of May, another session the 15th of May, and the other one on 3rd of May. The 8th and the 15th is 7:30 p.m. Time, Brazil time, so it is, I would say,
11:30.
11:30 here. 11:30 here, isn't it? Yeah, I think it's 4 hours for about 4 hours. 11:30 here. And on Sunday, 12 p.m. for 3 p.m. here in London. And also, Elsa can explain to us on the 11th, 18th, and 2nd of June, we will have this talk because Divaldo will give the talk in Portuguese, but kindly Buzz organized the insertion of the subtitles on the talk, and Elsa can explain a little bit more how it's going to work.
Okay, so see the dates here. Yes, because Divaldo we will speak only in Portuguese. Because last year, I know if you remember, we tried to do the interpretation at the same time. It didn't work well. But now we decided to do only Divaldo talking straight away for 1 hour with your questions and answers. And we release the same lecture with subtitles in English on 11th of May, 3 days after the first one, and the 18th of May, 3 days after 15th, and the 2nd of June. So everyone will be, we will see with subtitles in English, okay? So Luis Grasso will do this for us, for all the, for Ireland, because we are doing together, okay? So it will be for British people, for Portuguese ones.
And very good. Thank you, Luis. Thank you very much for your time and efforts. And the last announcement, but I would say the most important one, our show from next week will change the day, same time, 9 p.m. London time, but a new day. I put it here, down here, this new day, it's on Wednesday. We will move from Thursday to Wednesday, same time, 9 p.m. London time. Okay? Just when we finish here, I will already lock the time for the next show. So you have plenty of time to see in your Facebook, to share with your friends, because we change just the day, not the time. Okay, and the topic for next Wednesday is the future of humanity. So we talk about faith. Now we're going to talk about the future of the humanity. Okay? Okay, so I think this is it. I want to say...
Short video, no? No, it's not there? Congress video?
Which video?
We don't have time.
No, we don't.
So beautiful.
Which video? I may.
We
which
can
one?
show next week then.
Yeah, next week.
What video? Which?
Next week we'll show for the Congress.
Oh, from the Congress. I downloaded. 1 second. I downloaded.
But thank you very much for all the participation tonight, the people who are watching us, and for those who are going to watch later, another day. Thank you very much for joining us, and hope to see you next week, and enjoy as much as we do, and learn with us, and as we learn with you as well.
Hello, Lucas is here, our friends. Oh, it's nice to have people really appreciating this small and humble talk, but full of love and gratitude to God that allow us to be together in this wonderful internet, Lithuania, France, Ireland, UK, and then together we are growing up as well. When we are talking as well to ourselves. So we are learning as well. So Stevan, leave it for next week, my dear. No problem.
Yeah, next week.
It's blocking my.
Okay.
Let's try. Okay. Let's see it goes now.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, don't go. It's not loading.
It's only 28 seconds. This is small one, but never mind. Next week.
That's why, because I downloaded the 3 minutes. That's why.
No, it's too big. No. It's a short one. Never mind, Stevan. So next week, Wednesday. Can see here who is here.
Now it's still spinning. 1 second.
Thank you, Rubens from Uruguay. Thank you, Andrea, the musician that will be with us, Andrea Cânticos. Thank you, Adriano, Patrocínio José. Thank you, Kardec Radio. Thank you.
Okay.
Lucas, Narciso. Only that.
Okay, that's it. So I need to work in my. I need assistance here to do the
technical part.
The technical part, yeah. Okay.
So anyway,
thank you very much, everybody. Have a great night.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
See you
Wednesday next week.
Wednesday,
See you next
9
Wednesday.
p.m. London time. Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
Bye.